Maybe some of you already know how to do this, but we are going to simulate flipping a coin 50 times on a spreadsheet. Some of you might even know how to do this on your calculator. We can talk about that on Thursday. So the first thing I want to do is have the spreadsheet give me randomly toss the coin. So in this cell, I type equals, and then I need a rand between, because I want integer values. So I choose rand between, and then I want between 0 and 1. So this coin toss gave me a 0. And I'm going to go all the way down to 51 because I have a title in cell 1. So there's 50 coin tosses. So yeah, you got to set up your titles, and you should call this, I called it coin flip, relative frequency and runs. We'll talk about that a little bit more. So I want to know the number of heads I got. So I ask it to count if, and then I just tell it this column, A2, in this case, to A51, and then it's a comma if it sees a 1 there. And it told me on that trial, each of these is a single trial. Through the entire simulation, the variable I'm looking for is how many times did I get heads when I flipped the coin 50 times. It came up 23 times. And I believe if you hit, if you're on Mac, if you hit flower R, whatever it is, it just recalculates. So I want you to do this then 30 times and tell me through each simulation how many heads came up. So if this was my first one, 26 heads came up in 50 coin tosses. This would actually be the number of heads out of 50 tosses, right? So 22 times, 22, 21, 25 heads out of 50. Whoops, undo. Did I lose my formula there? Edit, undo. There we go. Anyway, so do that 30 times. Now a more curious thing is to see what's the longest run. Now I only know how to do this for heads. I can only get it to count ones. I can't get it to count zeros. So I found this formula, which I thought was sort of cool, this cumulative count. If we start by having it look at the first value, and then we say if this next one equals 1, add it to that. If not, put a 0 there. So I'm actually going to copy this and actually put it here. And I'm going to just tell this to look at that cell. Tell me whatever's in that cell. Put that there. And then what this one says, if, this should say, if my next cell is a 1, add it to this, and then if not, just keep it a 0. And then I copy that down. This should have given me a 3. Why is this working over here? Just make this be equal to A2. Make this, if this A3 equals 1, do ET plus, oh, maybe because this says E, I need to be in C. My bad. This needs to be C2 because I'm in column C2. Sorry, you guys. There we go. Now I can see, whoa, I had 8 heads in a row. 1, 2, 3. So each time, it was cumulatively counting those. That's what this formula did. So my bad, in my original spreadsheet, I was in column E. So if So this says, just tell me whatever's in here. So if this next cell is a 1, add that to 1, and if not, give it a 0. So again, you can see there's a run of 3, and then, but my longest run in this trial was 8, which, so this you have to completely scroll down for. Now, I Googled and found this crazy formula. So I'm just going to copy it, and I'll send you guys a link that you can, I'll send it to you in an email. And I think it doesn't matter, you can just copy it into here because the cells, all it references is, notice it references column A. I don't quite understand this formula. I'm not going to try to understand it, but it does return the right value. It's telling me that my longest run is 4. I just Googled longest run, and it gave me that formula. I just copied it and pasted it in here. So if I recalculate, Control R, Flower R, Command R, there's a run of 8. Holy cow, there's a run of 5, there's a run of 6, there's a run of 3, there's a run of 5. Now, there might actually be a longer run of tails in this, but the only way I could get it to do it is if I used a value of 1. So all it's telling me is the maximum frequency of heads, actually, for heads, I should say. And a run of heads I did right before was a cumulative run of heads, I should call this. Cumulative. So there you go. Let me wrap that text. So I'm curious, you saw a maximum run of 8. I'm wondering if any of you, when you did your pretend, if you ever did 8 tails or 8 heads in a row. Maybe if you've done some probability before. Okay, so make that sheet, record the things I ask you to record.